Then came the jeers. Jews from Asia who had been chasing Paul for years stirred up a crowd, accused him of teaching against the law, of teaching against the temple, teaching against our custom, our ways. He ain't even really meant. And then poor Trophimus comes in, and he wasn't even inside the temple. Like they supposed, how strong is a lie? They just supposed that he was in. They just thought that an outsider was coming for the jobs. And that was enough to set them off. And the crowd grabbed Paul, drug him out of the temple. The doors slammed shut, and they shouted away with him. And but then for some reason, here comes the governor again. Right? As I said, it's hard for me because in all three of these examples, it was some Roman soldiers rushed in. They pulled Paul out and they carried him off to safety. And the crowd closed the door to the temple, but God was actively opening the door to his kingdom. Crowds do everything they can to close doors in your face, don't they? Paul had just finished the purification ritual. He was doing the best he could, just like many of us, doing the best he could to honor God, but still they were lying. Doing the best he could, but they were against him. And I need some of us to hear that we know that you're doing the best you can to serve God right now. You're doing the best you can with the hand that you've been dealt to hold your head above water and to be honoring to God and the hand that you've been dealt. And I know it's hard. And I know it may be feeling like people have grabbed you and drugged you and are actively. Trust me, if we can do anything by looking at this example of Paul, God is right there opening doors still. And I know it doesn't feel like it. He's trying to raise your kids. He's trying to honor God. And they twist your story. And it hurts and it cuts deep. And I know that. The crowd closed the door, but God opened his kingdom. The crowd said you're not enough, but our God says that his grace is sufficient. The crowd said, away with him. But our God says, come to me, all you who are burdened and heavy laden. And I feel like many of us just finished that sentence. God will give you rest. You don't have to be enough for the crowd. You don't have to be enough for the crowd to be enough for God. You don't have to put on a show. You don't have to chase all of that nonsense. Fill your life full of idols, lean to the world to validate you. I understand, my brothers and sisters, that over 2,000 years ago, Jesus already said that you can come in. Already welcomed into his presence. Already sealed by his Spirit.